Hey guys, Coach Mitch here. So people often wonder, how do my students pass a CBP interview? And so that's a really great question. So I want to get down to the nitty gritty here as to why they pass. So first of all, I make it a known fact that they understand what is being scored. So meaning scored doesn't mean points, not points at all. But I make them understand who they're talking to, what the panel is all about, what even go through their mindset while they're looking at my client, right? So I make sure they don't treat this interview like a normal interview. You guys have been following me for even a week or two. You'll know that it is not a civilian-based interview because this panel here is judging you on your judgment. They're judging you on your integrity and emotional control. Yeah, how you handle yourself. There are intentional questions that can accurately relate how you handle an emotionally controlled, infused question. I ask the same kind of questions in my interview processes to you. They're going to judge you on communication. And a big one's going to be, of course, accountability, because in this day and age, people do not take any accountability anymore. But when you wear the badge for CBP, you have to take on that personal responsibility. It's part of wearing the badge. So every question I ask mimics what they're going to ask. Not the exact, because I don't have the exacts, but it doesn't matter because my people still pass at a 90.4% pass rate. So obviously, I know what I'm doing. So every question is built to get the answer from you about judgment, integrity, emotional control, and stuff like that. My clients understand how to use a structured answer. I teach them that from the very beginning. A, B, C, D, E, F. That's how we do that. This clears any kind of rambling. If you ramble, you're going to be struck down so fast it's going to make your head swim. You'll be told to come back in 6 months when you have your crap together. My people understand the situation, the decision, the action, the result, what they learn, all in a paramilitary fashion, not civilian, paramilitary. Because who are we talking to, right? If I'm talking to a bunch of civilians, easy. Paramilitary with seasoned people looking at you for the right answer, coming from you within 2 or 3 minutes, that's a whole different pressure on you. That's a lot of pressure on you. But that pressure is alleviated through my coaching program. I show you guys how to get past that. Last year, I had 1,400 clients come through my doors because they understand I know how to teach them the right way, and they go on to be successful. That's how that works for me, guys. When you first meet me online via my Zoom through my software package, within 10 minutes, I'm asking you 4 questions. Everybody already knows this. And so I'm measuring you for if you panic, if you change your story, over-explaining. A lot of you guys are over-explaining at first. Not your fault. It's okay. The first time we meet. But a lot of you are over-explaining because you're not used to this kind of question coming your way. You're used to the civilian type questions. You know, where are you going to be in 5 years? Strength or weakness? And no one gives a crap about that because no one's going to ask you such a silly question at a paramilitary law enforcement federal level interview. This is why 60% don't pass, because they're walking in there thinking they're going to get those kind of questions. I don't even understand the logic of that, really. Federal law enforcement, paramilitary type questions, they're not going to ask you where you're going to be in 5 years because no one cares. These questions are designed to measure your maturity and emotional discipline. This is why in my coaching program, it's the same thing. I'm measuring you for your maturity and emotional discipline because as your coach, I've got to prepare you for the big battle, which is going to be that. There are also questions I designed too, for sure, that will measure your ability to not blame your coworkers, to not blame your boss, to not blame others. It is designed to really bring out the maturity in you if it is there within you. If you don't take accountability in this interview for questions they're asking you, you're going to get a sharp on the head and say, come back in 6 months. Now, in my program, you're taught that. I teach you that. You are fully prepared by the time you go up from this panel. It doesn't matter CBP or BP, it doesn't matter. You're going to be prepared for these guys because you're going to have your stuff together. You're going to come what I call strack. Strack means you have your crap together. You open up that Zoom and boom, you'll be ready because I taught you that. Although the question is not going to come to you most likely, why do you want to wear the badge? I do ask that. Because my program is about understanding who I'm talking to myself, right? If I'm talking to someone that says it's a cool job, it's cool, it's great pay, well, you're missing the whole mission. The mission isn't the great pay or the cool job. The mission is to what? To keep the country safe. It is an identical mission to the military. That's why it's a paramilitary type organization. To keep the country safe. The first words to utter out of your mouth to me is to keep the country safe. If they ever by chance ask you that, you should be saying that as well. But once you get that mindset, keep the country safe, the rest isn't so hard. You understand? The interview doesn't reward confidence. The interview process, guys, rewards preparation. That's what I do. I prepare you for that battle. The interview is the only piece of the whole process where you control 95% or more. You don't control the physical or the medical. Those things are as they are. The SF-86, that's what that is. So poly, up to the machine and some guy who's working it, right? This is the only part you control. But when you have a 60% fail rate, that tells me that people are walking in there under the wrong idea of what it's going to be like. It's a challenge, man. It's no joke, you know? The law enforcement structure interview is designed to weed out those who are just good versus those who are excellent. I only teach at an excellent rate. I coach par excellence. I only get champions from my program. That's why 90.4% success rate, because I teach champions. And champions go in front of that Zoom, boom. It's about achieving your dream. If this is really your dream, I'm here for you to help you achieve that dream. I make champions out of you. So this interview panel doesn't phase you. It's just another phase. Okay, I'm gonna sit down here and do this thing, you know. You're gonna feel confident, not cocky, but confident. All right? If you're serious, link down below. Get to my calendar. See you guys on the other side.